Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. Young and Restless exclusive, Laura Lee Bell anticipates wedding day. Drama, plus, the gift that would really take the cake. Laura Lee Bell is with every Young and the Restless fan this week. She's just as excited about Christine and Danny, Michael Damian, getting engaged as you are. She knows viewers are giddy after waiting for this reunion for so long, because of Christine and Danny's super couple impact on daytime history. It's a love story and a lifelong thing that has become really fun to be a part of, she gushes to soaps.com, with Christine and Danny feeling more connected and united than ever, thanks to her having tagged along on his whirlwind rockstar tour. The next step in their relationship seems inevitable. But with every walk down the aisle in daytime, there can be trouble lurking, especially given the ever-present dark cloud that is Phyllis. Belle reassures us that Danny is all in, and so is Christine. If you're in a relationship and something jeopardizes it, like a Phyllis, and you find your way back, you would never want to be in that position again, she says. And you'll never let it go. That doesn't mean Phyllis won't give it a shot. If we're going to go through all the trouble to do this again, with Christine and Danny's marriage, she's got to stay away. But of course, for Cricket to utter those words would mean Phyllis will be looming around. She can't help herself. Even if she's not invited to the wedding, I hope I don't see her in a wig serving something, pretending to be a waitress, Belle jokes. But I think we're going to have heightened security for this wedding. Belle confirms that she hasn't been given any details about the upcoming nuptials by the Young and the Restless writers. Still, she warns, that's never stopped Phyllis before. But she is ready for the super couple's happy ending because they've fought so hard to get here. Belle's one request for Danny and Christine's fairy tale future seems pretty simple on paper, but there are show logistics to consider. It sounds so silly, but I would just love to have like a home base, she admits. I think, unfortunately, because of budget and everything, so many of our scenes have been in the coffeehouse or society, understandably. What really draws people in is when they feel like they're witnessing a piece of your life. The set really matters. She believes a living room or kitchen is all Christine and Danny need. Reflecting on how important that sense of place was in the past, I keep going back to the kitchen because it was so fun to see scenes where Nina and even David Kimball, I think, were there, and we were all washing dishes and handing them off to each other and putting them in the cabinet while we were talking after a dinner party. It brings in the reality of the relationship so much more in a home, Belle muses. So, I'm just hoping that we get to just live like that again, because it does help elevate the intensity of the relationship. That said, Belle isn't picky about Danny and Christine's living arrangements. I'm even fine moving in with Daniel, she laughs of Danny's grown son. We just need a home. We need to get a petition going for them to have a home, Belle suggests. What do we want for our wedding present? A home. There's something magical about a soap wedding, the glitz, the gowns, the guests and, of course, the guaranteed chaos. And when the Young and the Restless very own Laura Lee Bell, Christine, Cricket, Blair, starts teasing wedding day drama, you know we're in for something that's going to have all of Genoa City gasping. But what makes this particular wedding buzzworthy isn't just the possibility of a ruined bouquet or a dramatic "I object." It's who's getting married, who's showing up uninvited, and who might just walk away from the big day in handcuffs. Yes, that's right, Genoa City may be gearing up for romance, but with every whispered warning and furrowed brow, it's becoming crystal clear, this happily ever after could quickly unravel into a full-blown disaster. Cricket. Caught in the middle. Laura Lee Bell has been playing Christine Blair for decades, long enough to know that no soap event ever goes off without a few fireworks. And in an exclusive conversation with the show's creative team, Belle herself hinted that the upcoming nuptials may end up being less about love and more about leverage. Christine knows better than anyone that weddings in Genoa City come with surprises, she said. The question is, what kind? Christine is set to be very involved in this wedding storyline, not just as a bystander but as a pivotal emotional force, one that might be hiding her own conflicted feelings. Because while she's officially there as the supportive friend, officiant, or advisor, the show's keeping that part vague. There's an undercurrent of tension in every scene she's in. And if you're paying attention, you can already see the cracks beginning to form. The couple in question, and the threat on the horizon. Let's just say it, the bride and groom are not exactly Genoa City's most stable couple. They're passionate, sure, but also volatile, secretive, and, according to one insider, on the verge of a discovery that could change everything. There's a reason Christine seems wary. She's seen too many red flags to count, and while she may be putting on a brave face, her instincts are screaming that something's off. And as fans know, Cricket's gut is rarely wronged. Of course, this wouldn't be the Young and the Restless if there weren't at least 3 other characters with serious motives for wanting this wedding to fall apart, or never happen at all. Laura Lee Belle's real-life connection. What makes all of this even more poignant is the way Laura Lee Bell has managed to infuse her real-life perspective into her character's on-screen journey. As the daughter of YNR creators William J. Bell and Lee Phillip Bell, she understands the emotional DNA of the show like few others ever could. Weddings are about more than just the dress and the vows, Bell says. They're a moment where every character's past, present, and future collides, sometimes beautifully, sometimes explosively. And with her decades of experience, she also knows that when a character like Christine is at the heart of the action, you can expect layers. It's never just one thing with her, Bell adds. She's got her own history, her own regrets, and those always have a way of bubbling up at the worst possible time. Will Paul be there? Here's the question on everyone's minds. Will Christine's former flame, the legendary Paul Williams, return for the wedding? We already know Doug Davidson, who originated Paul, has made fewer appearances in recent years, but fans have long been clamoring for some kind of closure, or continuation. And if there's ever a moment to bring him back, it's a wedding. Preferably this wedding. Belle plays coy when asked. I can't say, she teases, but I think fans will be really satisfied with how things unfold. That's not a yes, but it's also not a no. If Paul does show up, his presence could have ripple effects across the canvas, especially if he walks in just as someone else says, I do. The wedding guests who could blow it all up we know. A few Genoa City residents who have made it their life's mission to stir the pot. Phyllis, Tucker, Audra. And now with Aristotle Dumas still lurking in the shadows, playing mind games and pulling strings, it's entirely possible that any of them could bring the ceremony to a screeching halt. According to sources close to the production, at least one character shows up uninvited. And no, they're not just there for the cake. This is someone who wants revenge, or worse. And depending on how far they're willing to go, we could be looking at a wedding that turns into a whodunit by the end of the episode. Belle's dream gift. And it's not what you expect with all the drama circling the on-screen festivities. Laura Lee Bell was asked what kind of wedding gift she'd want, not as Christine, but as herself. Her answer was both sentimental and unexpected. If I had my way, Belle said with a smile, the best gift would be a moment of peace. A wedding that actually ends with love, instead of tears or handcuffs or people falling into cakes. Given that this is The Young and the Restless, though, we're guessing Belle may not get her wish. Still, she's holding out hope for a twist that surprises even her. That's the thing about this show, she adds. Just when you think you've got it all figured out, it turns out the bride has a secret, the groom has a past, and someone in the front row is recording everything. Christine's role in the fallout. Let's say, for argument's sake, that the wedding does implode. Or that something scandalous happens right in the middle of I do. What then? Christine may find herself not just emotionally wrecked, but legally involved. A wedding interrupted by a crime? That's Christine's jurisdiction. A betrayal between friends? That's Christine's burden. And as the drama spills out into the following episodes, don't be surprised if the character once known as the Bug ends up being the glue that holds the whole canvas together. A full circle moment? There's a quiet poetry to Christine being at the center of a story that combines love, loss, and the specter of justice. After all, she's been through it all, the heartbreaks, the courtroom battles, the ethical dilemmas. Could this storyline be leading to a long-awaited reckoning for Christine herself? A moment where she confronts her own past, her lost loves, her faded dreams. Belle seems to think so. There's a depth to Christine that people sometimes forget, she says. She's struggled. Not just the straight arrow lawyer. Maybe this wedding brings some of that back to the surface. Maybe, just maybe, it gives her a chance to begin again. The verdict? Don't miss a minute between Laura Lee Bell's elegant performance, the suspense building behind the scenes, and the long list of possible saboteurs. This wedding storyline has all the makings of an instant soap classic. Whether it ends with rose petals or broken champagne flutes, it's going to mean something, and it's going to matter to fans. Laura Lee Bell wouldn't have it any other way. We owe it to the viewers to make every big event feel earned, she says. And trust me, this one is earned. In every possible way. So pull out your popcorn, grab a front row seat, and don't get too comfortable, because when Christine Blair shows up dressed to the nines, with secrets in her eyes and hesitation in her step, it's only a matter of time before the whole thing explodes.